How's it going, everybody? Doing the NFL week 10 recap video today. I'm filming in a different spot in the back room. This is where I filmed the card opening videos, except you would have just seen the table that the laptop's on. But we're gonna try. I'll give it a go somewhere else. It looks alright. Change things up. Not that there's much going on in the background or anything, but hey, you're getting part of the kind of desk over here and stuff. But anyway, on to the first game. There's a lot of couple of blown fourth quarter leads, decent amount of blowouts again, I believe. We'll get into it though. First game was Denver beating the Raiders 10-7. That was Thursday night. Denver's 8-2. The Raiders are 2-7. Geno Smith 143 yards, no TDs, a pick. He sacked 6 times. Jan D has 60 yards rushing and a TD. Lockett 44 yards receiving to lead the way. They get snacks. Oh my god. They get sacks from Snowden and Butler. 2 picks from Kelly. And their kicker does miss a field goal. It's his extra point. Bo Nix, 150 yards, TD, 2 picks. He sacked once. Cortland Sutton, I guess, was attempting a pass, but he got sacked, so that was the second sack. Dobbins, 77 yards rushing on 18 carries. Troy Franklin had 5 catches, 40 yards, and the TD. Pat Bryant had a catch for 43. They get sacks from number 9. I forget it. Ofanga. Benito gets a sack and a half. Allen a sack. Roach a sack. A half sack for Franklin Myers. A half sack from Uwazuriki. A half sack from Cooper. A pick from Tillman. Lutz misses a field goal as well. 1-2. And 6 points. A defensive battle and an offensive embarrassment. Denver, of course, came out. Funny thing is, the Monday night game had the same result as the same score. And the Packers were coming out saying the same stuff as Denver. Like, Denver's offense was like, we suck. Like, we have to be better. We can't rely on the defense. Like, and they can't because I'll say what I said in my other video. They are a vulnerable 8-2. I don't think they're soft. Because defensively, they're a top 3 defense in the league. But they are vulnerable on the offensive side of the ball. They're a vulnerable 8-2. Like, I could have seen that anyway because it's the Chiefs. But, and it's in Denver, it doesn't matter. Like, I could see the Chiefs winning the game, although I think it's going to be close regardless of who wins. But they struggled with decent defenses to great defenses. And the Chiefs have a good D. The Berlin game was Indy beating the Falcons 31-25 in overtime. So Germany got a nice game here in Berlin from these 2 teams. Went to overtime, touchdown scored. England's got some good ones, I feel. That Denver one was a joke. And there was the one that was in Brazil as well, right? That was the Chargers Chiefs to start the season. I think that was an alright game. England, for some reason, they get a lot of stinkers. Not to say they haven't had good games, but it's weird. Anyway, Colts are 8-2. Falcons are 3-6. My stomach's so low. Penix Jr., 177 yards, a TD, no picks. He sacked 3 times. Robinson, 84 yards rushing to lead the way. Algieri, 2 TDs rushing on 57 yards and 11 carries. Drake London, 6 catches, 104 yards, and a TD. Penix Jr. loses a fumble. They get sacks from Harrison Jr., Walker, Ellis, Harrison. Number 17, I'm not going to be able to say it. They got a lot of sacks here. Durlis, Pierce Jr., they had 7 sacks. A pick from Bates III. Their kicker hits his 1 field goal and 2 extra points. I assume they went for 2 at some point. Daniel Jones, TD, a pick, 255 yards. He sacked 7 times. Jonathan Taylor, 32 carries, 244 yards rushing, and 3 TDs with a long of 83. They had 323 yards rushing as a team. Tyler Warren, 99 yards receiving on 8 catches. Alec Pierce has 84 yards receiving and a touchdown. Daniel Jones fumbles 3 times and loses 1. They get sacks from Franklin, Cross, Bynum, and Bynum. Their kicker's 2 of 3. He also missed an extra point. Colts 8-2. Their good season continues, even though Jones didn't suck here, but he is sacked 7 times. He throws a pick and he loses 1 of his 3 fumbles. The old Jets win again here, 27-20 over the Browns. Both teams are 2-7. Gabriel, 2 TDs, no picks. He sacked 6 times, 167 yards. Judkins has 75 yards rushing to lead the way. Judy, old Broncos, 6 catches, 78 yards, and a TD to lead the way. Number 85, whose name I can never say and don't even attempt to, had a receiving TD as well. Half sack for Schwessinger, a sack for Garrett, a half sack for Collins, a sack from Thomas, a pick from Ronnie Hickman. Their kicker's 2-2 on his field goals and 2-2 extra points. I'm pretty sure it was the Jets that had 2 return touchdowns. Field 6 for 11, 54 yards, a TD and a pick. He sacked 3 times. Breece Hall, 83 yards receiving. Breece Hall has 42 yards receiving and the receiving TD. This is nuts. This is interesting. He only completed 6 passes, right? 6 different dudes had a catch. So you have 6 guys with 1 catch. Breece Hall had 42 yards of the 54 yards. So you got 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 3, 1 for 1, and 1 for 0 for the other guys. Quincy Williams a sack. Jermaine Johnson a sack. 4 sacks for McDonald, the 4th. I was like, it says 6. Where's the other one? Oh, there's the 4. They have a kick return touchdown of 99 yards from number 34, Nwangwo. I don't know what I'm saying. He has the 99-yard return, and they get a punt return touchdown from Williams of 74 yards for a TD. Well, I guess it technically didn't have to be 74 yards if you returned another one for 74 and the touchdown was shorter. But and Nick Folk goes 2 for 2 on his field goals, 3 extra points. So 2 return touchdowns. The special teams was the difference. The Jaguars blow a massive lead in the 4th quarter to the Texans. I think it was a 19-point lead, and lose 36-29. Texans 4-5, Jaguars 5-4. That's a massive loss for them. Lawrence, a TD, a pick. He sacked. A lot of guys getting sacked a lot this week. He sacked 5 times, 158 yards. Etienne Jr., 58 yards and a TD rushing. Parker Washington has the receiving TD. Lawrence fumbles twice and loses 1 of them. A sack from Johnson, a sack from Armstead, a pick from Jones. They get a punt return touchdown as well from Parker Washington. 73 yards, most likely it was the one because he only returned 2 punts for 90. 17-yard punt return touchdown. Their kicker goes 3 for 3, Cam Little. On field goals, 2 extra points. The Texas Mills starting for Stroud. Stroud was concussed in the Denver game, I believe. 292 yards, 2 TDs, a pick, sacked twice. Mark, 63 yards, rushing a touchdown. Mills also rushes for a touchdown. Nico Collins, 7 catches, 136 yards. Schultz and Higgins have receiving TDs. Tremont Smith loses a fumble. 3.5 sacks for Hunter. A half sack from Toa. It's spelled weird. T-O apostrophe O T-O apostrophe O. I'm probably saying it wrong. Anderson Jr. has a sack as well. A pick from Stingley Jr. Their kick is 1 of 1 on extra points and kicks, field goals. That's a nice win to keep Houston in the playoff race. This is the upset of the week, most likely, I would think. It was in Miami, but Miami blows out the Bills at 30-13 to move to 3-7. Bills are 6-3. Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, a pick. He sacked 3 times, 306 yards. Cook the third, 53 yards rushing. Shakir has 58 yards receiving on 7 catches. Coleman has a touchdown receiving. Hawes has a touchdown receiving. Allen and Cook both lose fumbles. No sacks. Hairston and Bishop have picks. And their kicker just had an extra point. The old Bronco, Matt Prater. 2 has 2 TDs, 2 picks. He's not sacked. 173 yards. Achane has 174 yards rushing and 2 TDs. Another nice game for running back there. Waddle, 84 yards receiving and a TD. Malik Washington has the other receiving TD. They get a sack from Bradley Chubb, former Bronco. A sack from Gay Jr. and a sack from Seiler. Number 9 has a pick. Another name I'm not going to be able to pronounce. And their kicker goes 1-1 on field goals and 3 of 4 on extra points. The Dolphins, it said like delusional Dolphins, I think they said themselves. Still feel they're in the race. New England beats the Buccaneers 28-23. They're 8-2. The Bucs are now 6-3. Drake made two TDs a pick, 270 yards. Henderson 147 yards rushing on 14 carries, 2 TDs. Mac Hollins 106 yards receiving. Williams and Diggs both have TDs receiving. I keep forgetting Stephon Diggs is on the Patriots. A sack from Ponder, a sack from Jason. And their kicker just has 4 extra points. He doesn't even attempt any field goals. Baker Mayfield, 3 TDs, no picks. He sacked twice at 273 yards. Tucker, 53 yards rushing to lead the way. Number 2, 6 catches, 415 yards and a touchdown. Tess Johnson has 2 receiving touchdowns. A sack from Roberts was the only sack. A pick from Smith. Their kickers 1-1 on field goals, 2 extra points. The Giants blew a lead here in the 4th as well. Not as big as the Jags. Bears beat the Giants 24-20 to move to 6-3. Giants are 2-8, and they did fire their coach, DeBoll, or however you say it. You have to, between this game, which wasn't nearly as bad as the Broncos' blown lead. I mean, you can't. This is like the 3rd year in a row they've been 2-8. The guy's record's like 20-34. Or some shit. He, or might have been more. It was probably worse than that, actually. Well, maybe not. They did make the playoffs, I think, his first year. And they won a game in the playoffs. Dart got concussed in this game. But before he did, 242 yards. No TDs, no picks. He sacked twice. Russell Wilson comes in 45 yards. No TDs, no picks. He sacked twice. Tracy Jr. had 71 yards rushing. Jackson Dart, 6 carries, 66 yards. 2 TDs. Slayton, 89 yards receiving to lead the way. Dart did lose a fumble. No sacks for them. That's a good job for the Bears' offensive line. Because the Giants do get to the pass, the quarterback. Their kicker was 2 for 2 and 2 for 2. Oh, they have the kicker for. They signed the kicker from the Falcons. Coup. So Bears 6-3 now. They are tied for first, but I guess head-to-head matchup maybe or something. Lions are in first at 6-3 as well. Baltimore beats the Vikings 27-19 to move to 4-5. The Vikings are also 5-4. So the Ravens now with Jackson back, you might see them. The Steelers got to be getting worried. He has a touchdown, no picks. He sacked 176 yards. Henry rushes for 75 yards. Justice Hill has a rushing touchdown on his 1 carry. Flowers had 75 yards receiving. Mark Andrews had a receiving touchdown. They get a sack from Jones. A pick from Humphrey and a pick from Starks. Their kicker's 4 for 5. Loop on field goals and 1 of 1 on extra points. McCarthy for the Vikings, 248 a TD, 2 picks. He sacked the 1 time. McCarthy runs for 48 yards. Jones Sr. has a rushing touchdown. Nailor has 5 catches, 124 yards, and a TD. Miles Price fumbles twice and loses one. A sack from Allen is what the sack they get. No picks. Their kicker hits everything that he kicked. The Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. That's a bad loss for the Panthers because they're 5-5. They got it bumped up to 6-4. Put them in good shape. The Saints are 2-8. Tyler Show, 282 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. He sacked twice. Kamara, 83 yards rushing. Olav. I've said this guy's name wrong 900 times. The funny thing is, I ask you guys tell me that and pronounce him, and then I immediately forget. He had a receiving touchdown, 104 yards. Johnson, 92 yards receiving a TD. Cameron Jordan loses a fumble. They get sacks from Jordan and Shepard. A pick from Taylor. Their kicker's 1-on-1 on his extra point. His field goals, 2 extra points. Bryce Young, 124 yards, no TDs, and a pick. He sacked it twice. Dowdle, 53 yards rushing and a TD. 60 yards from McMillan to lead the way receiving. Bryce Young loses a fumble as well. Wallace and Scrotum have sacks. Their kicker missed a field goal and hit his extra point. Here come the blowouts. I thought there was some blowouts. I'm getting my weeks confused. Seattle beats the Cardinals 44-22 to move to 7-2. Arizona is 3-6. Brissett, 2 TDs, no picks. He sacked 5 times, 258 yards. Number 31 has 64 yards rushing to lead the way. Dortch has a rushing touchdown. McBride, 9 catches, 127 yards and a TD. Marvin Harrison Jr. has the other TD. Brissett fumbles twice and loses them both. A sack from Sweat. Burke has a pick. And their kicker hits his 2 extra points. He's no field goal attempts. Darnold, 170, 10 of 12. Didn't have to do much passing here. Yeah, because the same dude, I'll get to it. I'll go to the plays. The one dude had 2, I think they were the same yard distance too. Had 2 fumble recovery touchdowns. A TD, a pick, 178 yards. He sacked once. Charbonnet, 83 yards rushing and a TD. Holani has a rushing TD. Number 11, another guy's name, Jackson Smith, and the last name I cannot say. Or I will not say it right. 5 catches, 93 yards, and a TD. Darnold loses 2 fumbles. He fumbles twice, loses them both. 2 sacks for Knight. Emanwari has a half sack. Lawrence has a half sack. Sack from Williams, sack from Maeve. 5. Their kicker hits 5 extra points, 3 field goals. Let me just go with play by play here. I'm pretty sure they were both. Oh, no, they were not. Lawrence had a 34-yard fumble recovery, and they had a 22-yard fumble recovery. I don't know why I thought they were the same. I thought they were both 27 yards. They were not. The Lions beat up on Washington 44-24 to move to 6-3. Washington's 3-7. What's his name's going to be hurt for probably the rest of the year, Daniels. So Washington might as well just tank out and get a sweet pick. He comes back, Daniels, and is fine. It works out. Goff, 3 TDs, no picks, 320 yards. 142 yards rushing for Gibbs and 2 TDs. Montgomery had 71 yards rushing. They had 226 as a team. Williams, 6 catches, 119 yards and a TD. St. Brown, 5 catches, 58 yards and a TD. Receiving. Branch, a sack and a half. Lopez, a half sack. No picks. Their kicker's 3 for 3 and his field goal's 3 of 4 and extra points. Mariota for Washington, 2 TDs, no picks. He sacked twice, 213 yards. Krosky, Merritt, 30 yards of rushing. Rodriguez Jr. has a rushing touchdown. Burks, 58 yards receiving to lead the way. Debo Samuel has a receiving touchdown. I forgot he's on them. And Sinat had a receiving TD. No sacks. And their kicker was 1 of 1 on field goals and 1 of 1 on extra points. Oh, here's another blowout. Okay, we're getting some blowouts here. 3 40-pointers in a row. The Rams beat the 49ers 42-26 to move 7-2. 49ers 6-4. Obviously, 49ers have a ton of injuries. Rams are playing well. Stafford is ripping. He could be the MVP. I think he only has 2 picks. 280 yards receiving. I was going to first say rushing, then I say receiving. Passing. 4 TDs, no picks. He sacked once. Williams, 73 yards rushing and 2 TDs. Devontae Adams, 6 catches, 77 yards and receiving TD. Puka has a receiving TD, and Parkinson has a receiving TD, and Allen has a receiving TD. No sacks. Forbes Jr. is a pick. I just thought of Forbes magazine. Their kicker is just a straight 6-6 on his extra points. No field goals attempted. Matt Jones, 3 TDs a pick. He's not sacked. 319 yards. 33-39 passing. Nice game. Robinson Jr., 41 yards rushing and a TD. Kittle, 9 catches, 84 yards and a TD. Jennings has 71 yards receiving and a TD. Farrell has the other receiving TD. Jennings loses a fumble. Half sack from Davis and a half sack from White. Their kicker is no field goals, 2 or 3 extra points. I wanted the Chargers to lose this game because from Denver's division. It did not happen. Chargers beat the Steelers 25-10. They moved to 7-3. Steelers are 5-4. And now they have the Ravens right behind them. Rodgers, 161, a TD, 2 picks. He sacked 3 times. Warren has 7 yards rushing. Roman Wilson, 35 yards receiving, a TD to lead the way. Williams loses a fumble. They get a sack from Benton, a sack from Herbig, and 2 sacks from Highsmith. Their kicker misses a field goal, but he hits his extra point. He's 1 of 2 field goals. Herbert, 220 yards, TD, no picks. He sacked 5 times. 95 yards rushing for Vidal with TD. McConkey, 4 catches, 170 yards and a TD. A sack from Mack, a sack from Tupeluto, a sack from Dupree, a pick from Jackson, and a pick from Mickens. Their kick is 3 of 4 on his field goals, 2 of 2 on his extra points. He had a long of 59. I forgot to look at the longs, but he had a long of 59. And the final game, it started with a 10-7 shit show, and it ended the week with a 10-7 shit show. Eagles beat the Packers 10-7 to move to 7-2. Packers are 5-3-1. Jalen Hurts 183 yards, TD, no picks. He's not sacked. Barkley has 60 yards rushing. Smith 69 yards receiving on 4 catches and a TD. Hurts loses a fumble. Dean has a sack. Hunt has a sack. Smith Jr. has a sack. Their kicker's 1-1 on his field goals, and he hits his extra point. Jordan Love, 176 yards, no TDs, no picks. He sacked 3 times. Jacob, 74 yards rushing and a TD. Watson, 45 yards receiving to lead the way. Jordan Love fumbles twice and loses 1 of them. They have no sacks, no picks. Their kicker misses a field goal, which was the difference. Of course, it could have been a 65-yard attempt. We don't know. But yeah, we'll go to the standings here real quick. I thought there was more blowouts. I might have been thinking about the week before. Let's look at the standings real quickly. New England is in first place in the AFC East, 8-2. Pittsburgh 5-4 for the North. The South is 8-2 for the Colts. Denver 8-2 in the West. Denver's division is 8-2, 7-3, 5-4. Top 3 teams. Some good races here. I mean, Indy has a 2.5 game lead on Jack. They're going to win that division most likely. And in the NFC, the Eagles are 7-2. They're probably going to run away with the division. Dallas is behind them at 3-5-1. NFC North, we got 6-3, 6-3, 5-3-1, and Minnesota's at 4-5. Tampa 6-3 leading their division, and then the NFC West, we've got 2 7-2 teams, the Seahawks and the Rams, and San Fran is 6-4. Next week, we've got who's the Thursday night game? Jets and Patriots. Then we've got Washington and Miami Sunday. Panthers, Falcons, Bucks, Bills. Texans versus the Titans, Bears, Vikings, Packers, Giants, Bengals, Steelers, Chargers, Jaguars. Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, Ravens, Browns, Chiefs, Broncos, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Raiders on Monday Night Football. Only the Colts and Saints had buys, but how's your team doing? It's nice to see Denver at 8-2. I wouldn't call it a soft 8-2. It's a vulnerable 8-2. Because I don't think they're a soft team because their defense is that good. Their offense is... It's not terrible. It's a C-level offense, and they need to get to B-level offense. They're playing like a D-level offense some of the games. But anyway, thanks for checking this out. And I didn't forget the gum for this one.